Hello and welcome to this presentation on developing your plant health competency and professional standards. My name's Charles Lane and I work for Fera Science Ltd, and I'm joined by Celia Knight and Rosie Wakeman from the Royal Society of Biology. I want to take you back to 2012 with the first finding of ash dieback in the country. This led to a major review of plant health and biosecurity and the publication of Protecting Plant Health, a Plant Biosecurity Strategy for Great Britain in 2014. Within that document, there was a need to develop capability and capacity within the UK and work with professional bodies to embed greater awareness of plant health as a key competence and component of continual professional development. In 2016, I was asked by the Government Office of Science and DEFRA to bring together a group of people to work on this. And working with Celia Knight and the Royal Society of Biology, we brought together a group of experts to develop a competency framework, which is entirely based on the GB Plant Biosecurity Strategy. It has 4 competency clusters across 11 elements, which we'll now go on to look on in the next slide. On the left-hand side, you can see the competency clusters, plant health regulations, roles and responsibilities in reporting plant health concerns, risk-based decision-making, and contingency planning and outbreak management. So if we take the first one, plant health regulations, the elements of that would be understanding how plant health services operate in the UK, understand the key sets of guidelines and regulations that must be followed, and understanding the plant biosecurity continuum. So you can see it's very clear about the clusters and the elements. And again, these all draw back into the GB Plant Health Strategy. In addition to that, there has been new regulations around plant health. This was laid in 2016 and enforced at the end of 2019. And then again, this is relatively new, and this is for professional operators, for this is about people working in trade. There's 2 articles in there, Article 89, authorizations of professional operators to issue plant passports with a requirement to have a knowledge of signs, symptoms, and means to prevent presence and spread. And then Article 90, obligations of authorized operators, which again, they have to require appropriate training is provided. So even since the publication of the strategy in 2016, this new enforcement in 2019 has led to a greater demand amongst industry in particular for knowledge about plant health and biosecurity, both in training, but also an ability to demonstrate their competency. So here are some of the examples that we've been able to use, the Royal Society of Biology Competency Framework. These are some of the qualifications. So working with Nicholas Spence and Harper Adams University, we've been involved in helping to develop a Master's in Plant Pathology and a postgraduate certificate. Again, all this has been benchmarked against the competency framework. On the right-hand side, you can see some examples of continual professional development that we've been involved in. And again, these draw upon the competency framework. There's some excellent free online resources, which I'd encourage you all to use. There's a brilliant set of e-learning done by the Forestry Commission on biosecurity with a competency assessment at the end. There's plant healthy management standards and some excellent resources about plant health and biosecurity, which are again all free for you to use. And then what I will more talk about is the Plant Health Professional Register managed by the Royal Society of Biology. One thing you also might be interested as well, additionally, DEFRA and many other people have helped fund this fantastic collection of plant health undergraduate studentships. There's a link there that you can follow. Obviously in 2020, we were rather limited in the studentships we could deliver. So actually we're hoping that 2021 is going to be a bumper year. Funding has come from people like DEFRA and also has allowed other people like British Society of Plant Pathology, Crop Protection Association and others to bring together quite a large package of undergraduate studentships. So have a look at this if you're at that level in your career and you want to get involved in furthering your knowledge. So the one I also talked about was continual professional development for plant health training. And this is a new initiative produced by the UK Biosecurity Alliance called Plant Healthy. If you go onto their website, you'll find there's some free online training, 5 different modules, and these again benchmark against the Royal Society of Competency Framework. So plant health regulations, harmful organisms, pathways of instruction, good biosecurity, and competency. So again, these are free for all to use. They are written for industry, but the basic principles are there, and it's a great way of extending, building your knowledge in plant health and biosecurity. So I would encourage you to do that as well. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Plant Health Professional Register. Again, this is what is benchmarked by the Competency Framework, and here are some online resources so you can get access to the register run by the Royal Society of Biology. We particularly like the idea of having a competency-based framework and continual professional development, because we want to make sure that people not only can develop their skills and demonstrate their knowledge, but year on year they continue to apply that knowledge and demonstrate their competency. There's 3 different levels you can apply at: associate, registered, or senior, building slowly up through the grades. So for example, if we look at competency cluster 1, the plant health regulations. So at an associate level, you'd be expected to able to describe the different government departments responsible for plant health and forestry in the UK. If you're applying at the registered level, you'd expect to also be able to demonstrate competency in the flow of information and understand the economic significance, for example. And then finally, at the highest level, at senior, you'd also have to describe how you initiate the flow of information. So it is a cumulative building of competency across the areas. The other thing we also like about it, that even once you have applied, you've been accepted, and you become either an associate, registered, or a senior plant health professional, there is an expectation year on year that you actually continue your professional development. You need to record that information to make sure you're maintaining your skills. And that's where a competency-based system has benefits over a qualifications-based system, because it makes sure you're keeping up to date. This is the process of how you might want to apply for being a Royal Society of Biology plant health professional. You obviously need to join the Royal Society of Biology, and then once you have joined that, then you can go through the society pages and look for professional registers. The process is you'll complete a plant health professional register application form, which is based against those 4 clusters and 11 elements. And that's a written submission where you provide your knowledge and evidence. You'll need to provide a referee, so we can check that the information provided is accurate. And then that application form will be submitted electronically to the Royal Society of Biology. It'll be reviewed by a primary assessor and then a secondary assessor, and they will give a judgment on actually whether you have demonstrated sufficient competency for that grade. Hopefully you have done that very successfully, and you may actually be accepted at the next proposal at one of those different grades. There is also an opportunity to resubmit. Now, it may well be that you haven't provided enough evidence for the grade that you've applied for, so we will just be asking for some more information. It may actually be that you've undergraded yourself and you might have applied for applied, but actually you've got a lot of information that would suggest that you're not at an associate level. You could actually apply at registered level, and we might ask you to resubmit with more evidence to allow you at that different grade. So look at the RSB website or email them and find out how you can get involved in that process. So a lot of hard work has gone into developing the Plant Health Professional Register. Celia and I have been sort of instrumental in taking this forward, and we've been supported very well by the Royal Society of Biology. None of this would have been achieved without the funding from DEFRA, but also by a lot of support and energy from many people across the UK plant health services. So I hope you found that interesting, and I'll now return you back to the main conference. Thank you.